So for question 1 and question 2, I got A for both of them.
Okay.
I just kind of got that from the reading.
Okay.
Yeah.
And question 3, I got from the reading, and it was D. It's on page 220 on the little pie chart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then I was just looking over question 4 in between the invites. So I kind of have them like sporadically throughout done.
Okay.
Does anyone have question 4 yet?
I don't. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, man, come on, Kate. Jeez.
I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. Changes in the quality of a good.
So what determines the quality of a good?
So I'm reading about the substitution bias right now.
Okay.
So it says substitution bias is when prices change from one year to the next. They do not all change proportionally. Some prices rise more than others. Consumers respond to these differing price changes by changing less of the goods whose prices have risen by relatively large amounts, by buying more of the goods whose prices have risen less or perhaps even have fallen.
And what page is that on again?
It's on 221.
Wow.
It's the 4th paragraph down from the top. I mean, that kind of looks like B from that, right?
That was my guess.
What question are we looking at?
Number 4.
I got D because the quality of a good changes the value of the dollar.
It's true. Where'd you see that one?
Oops, let me see. Yes. And problems in measuring the cost of living. At the bottom of the page, it says
When it's talking about the gift certificate.
Let me. It says if the quality of a good deteriorates from 1 year to the next while its price remains the same, the value of a dollar falls because you are getting a lesser good for the same amount of money. Similarly, if the quality rises from 1 year to the next, the value of a dollar rises.
Sounds pretty on point to me. Awesome. You guys all good with that?
Yeah.
Sweet. Good job. Now, number 5. Greece. Has anyone done number 5 yet?
I think we could find the answer in the graph, but I don't know how. Because I read something about that in another example. Where is it?
So if cost increases, does CPI increase is the question. And the equation for consumer price for CPI is the price of basket of goods and services in current year divided by the price of basket in the base year. I don't know if this helps answers. So let's see. If the cost of food and beverages increases by 10%, so it sounds like on top, like if the top number increases, then usually that, okay. So 10.
I got C because we don't have a formula for calculating that, and
This should be proportional, huh? Like, yeah.
Man, I don't know, because like trying to find, I don't know, I just see like the cost of food and beverages increases by 10%. Do you think it would increase matches?
Well, I think the way that I would do it is kind of like find a fixed cost. So let's say like the cost is 100 for 1 year, and then increase it by 10%, and then like see what the CPI would be if we used that as an example.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's what I was thinking. So then,
So if it was like,
I don't know, because you look at the CPI formula, and you'd think like 10%, but at the very end you have to times it by 100.
That's for the inflation rate.
No, it's the consumer price index. You do it for the inflation rate too, but I think you do it, well, at least on page 219, it says consumer price index.
I'm looking at the PowerPoint.
I got you. It says, I'm just on the section where it says how to calculate the CPI, and the formula is consumer price index equals the price of the basket of goods and services in the current year divided by the price of the basket in the base year times 100. For the inflation, you do that too, but you do the CPI in the second year minus the CPI in the first year divided by the CPI in the first year times 100. So I'd almost think like 1.5% because times it by 100 at the end. I don't know if it'd match the same 10%.
I would think, 1 second, let me think for a second.
Hmm. Yeah, I just tried doing what Audrey about, like if I just took the numbers, like let's say 30 is the price that of the basket of goods and services,
Mm-hmm.
and like 40 is like the price basket in the base year, and then I got 75%, and then I did so then I increased the price on top by 10%, so 33 divided by 40, and that gave me 82.5%. And so that's an increase of 7 point. I don't know. But,
Wait,
or maybe I did that wrong, but
oh my, oh, whoa, hold on. Maybe this is like way more easier than what we think. Because on page, on page 220, it has a food and beverages percentage of 15%. So wouldn't you do, I don't know, like 0.15 divided by 0.10?
on page 220, is that what you said?
Yeah, 220 in that little pie chart. Because it's talking about food and beverages, and if that's increased by 10%, so now that's 25%, and the CPA is likely to increase about what? I mean, we can always come back to this one too and just knock out the rest.
Yeah. Can you close the door?
All right. Well, do you guys want to go on to the next one real quick?
Yeah, fine.
Sweet. Sweet. Yeah, here too.
She's being kissed me. That's outside of me because I didn't go anywhere with the brown purse.
So I'm just reading over part of the chapter really fast.
Yeah, me too.
So for 6, I got 147. So B.
How'd you get that?
So I don't know. I was just looking at it as if the inflation rate is 5%, then wouldn't it just be 140, but 5% increase, so it'd be 147.
I don't know. Let's just look at the formula on 220. Just kind of plug those numbers in. And you said it was B, right?
I said B.
So you're just taking the 140 times 5%,
Yeah.
getting 7, and then adding that back to 140.
Yeah.
I think that logically makes sense.
That makes sense because that's just calculating it like algebraically, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good.
Sweet. So is the next one B then?
Yeah.
Nice. And number 8.
Okay.
Number 8, I got A.
How did you do that? If you don't mind me asking, I just don't know.
Well, you just calculate the CPI and then you use that to calculate the inflation rate. If you look at the PowerPoint, slide 5 has kind of an example of how to do it.
Wait, but it says which of the following is the correct formula for calculating the CPI? And
Oh, we're on 8. We said that one was B.
oh, sorry. Okay.
It's okay.
I'm like, guys.
You're like, there doesn't need to be a formula.
Yeah. Okay, continue.
No worries. Then 10.03%, 17.43. Sweet. Are you good for number 9?
Sorry, what was 8?
I think we had A. Was that right with everyone?
1 second, I'm gonna do the math really quick.
I just didn't want to slow you guys down too much. I was going to look back at that PowerPoint slide 5 and do all the math afterwards if you guys already knew it.
Okay. Oh, slash is calculating the inflation rate. Okay. So first you have to calculate the CPI and then the inflation rate. That's what's going on there.
We can move on and I can just do this. Didn't look at it before.
Okay.
I'm doing the math on this next one really fast.
Well, just looking at number 9, it looks like it's D. Because first you have your 11.1 inflation, and then it drops on the second by 5% deflation.
For number 9, I got B because from 90 to 100 we increase 10%, and from 100 to 95 we decrease 5%.
Did you get 10% exactly from year 1 to year 2?
I think it is not necessary to use a formula.
Okay.
Just consider the increase from 90% to 100%, and then decrease from 100% to 95. It decreased 5% in the second one, and the first we increase 10%.
In the first one, from 90 to 100, if we minus 90 and 100, you get 10. Divide 10 by 90, times it by 100, it gives you 11.1%.
Yeah, that's what I was getting.
But in the first one, it says inflation. I don't know how to pronounce that, but both include inflation. So it is not correct because Inflation is when we increase and deflation is when we decrease. So it is B.
I
Um,
think
I
if
yeah.
uh, yeah, you go. Sorry.
Uh, I agree in the sense that there was inflation from year 1 to year 2, and then deflation. But when you plug the numbers in, you do get 11.1%, and then a 5% deflation from 2 to 3. So I think it's D.
Yeah, kind of what you were saying, like with the inflation and deflation, that's spot on because in B, it's saying the same thing. It's going to inflate between years 1 and 2, and it's going to deflate between years 2 and 3. But when you use the inflation rate formula that's inside of the book and you plug those numbers in, you get 11.1% inflation, and then you get 5% deflation.
Yep. Does that make sense, Diana?
I don't know.
So, Diana, do you have like the book in front of you or anything?
No, I
Um,
use my intuition.
I gotcha. In the book, it says the formula is the inflation rate in year 2 is equal to, and it says the CPI in year 2 minus the CPI in year 1, and that's where we got the 10. And then you divide that by the CPI in year 1, and then that was the 90. And then you times that by 100, and so then that'll leave you with 11.1%.
Okay, so it could be D.
It could be, but D is just more exact, is
Okay,
what we're saying.
Yeah,
okay.
they're pretty tricky because they're really, really, really close. It's only 1.1% off. But I think with the numbers added up in the formula in the chapter reading, that D would be the right one. Good stuff. So number 10, does anyone get that one?
I just started looking at it.
I remember reading about the bias, and they said they thought they cut the bias in half, but that it was still there.
Yeah.
But that's not on the list.
Wasn't it? I think I remember seeing that the CPI like was a series or was.
It was what?
Nothing. I'm just talking to myself. I'm sorry. Let me try to look it up real fast.
Is the only bias that it talks about the substitution bias? Because I'm not really seeing the chapter talking about it anywhere else.
That's what I'm looking at.
Is there anything in the PowerPoint, Audrey,
About substitution bias?
just about bias? Because it doesn't specify substitution bias, does it? Or is that the bias we're talking about in this question?
So the only thing it talks about in the PowerPoint is substitution bias, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, because that's the only thing I'm seeing in the chapter. So I guess that's what it's talking about in the question.
Mhm. So it's talking about that, then which one would it be?
So I'm reading here. It says there is still much debate among economists about how severe these measurement problems are and what should be done about them. Several studies written during the 1990s concluded that the consumer price index overstated inflation by about 1 percentage points per year. In response to this criticism, the BLS adopted several technical changes to improve the CPI, and many economists believe the bias is now only about half as large as it once was.
Where is it?
From that, it sounds like it's D. Like there's still a debate
Yeah.
among economic. And then,
Where was that, Nathan?
I'm looking at it online. It's
Okay.
it's hard to get a page.
I'm fine with
It's
going.
problems in measuring the cost of living. It's going to be near the bottom, so that's be 11-1B.
Yeah, okay.
It has in the news, monitoring inflation on the internet age. It's past that. You want to skip that? It's kind of like their conclusion.
so the
Yeah,
quality.
right there on 224, there's still much debate about among economists about how severe these measurement problems are. Okay. D, is everyone good with that?
Yep. Quality of a good deteriorates while its price remains the same and the value of the dollar.
I said A. Oh wait, no. C.
That makes sense just from looking at it for me. Yeah, the quality of the good lowers while the price remains the same.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about C?
I would say the cost of living would increase. That's for sure. Well, it would be the same, but you'd be getting an inferior good now.
Hmm.
That yeah, C makes sense to me. Because if you're getting a less quality good for a higher price, or for not an equal price to the quality of it, then the dollar would lose value, right? It wouldn't rise necessarily.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
We're saying it's C.
I think so.
Yeah, I think if we wanted to look at an example, it looks like there might be one on 226, section 11.2a documents.
C makes sense to me.
Yeah, we can just go with that though if everyone's good.
Your dollar is pretty much losing value because you're not buying as much as you were. You could
Yeah.
consider quality the size of a candy bar. If it's decreasing from 10 ounces to 9 ounces, you're not buying as much anymore,
They're at the same price. Yeah.
which makes the dollar fall and makes the living expense increase. Because now if you want that 10 ounces, you gotta spend more.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Okay.
I'm gonna go grab my laptop charger really fast. I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay. Is this next question referring to figure 2 in the section?
Yeah,
11?
the two measures of inflation. I'm pretty sure that's what I was looking at.
Yeah. Okay. Um.
I'm glad you guys know what it's talking about.
Yeah.
Like, is that in the book somewhere?
Yeah, it's you're looking at it online, right? Because I am too.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's on the GDP deflator versus the consumer price index, 11-1C. There's a figure at the bottom that has a little chart.
Okay.
Um.
I'm not really sure how to read this or which one would be correct. I hate questions like this.
Yeah. We're still on 12, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I just had to step away for a second. I'm leaning towards B.
Yeah, because
The others don't work.
I'm back.
Okay.
You guys on number 18, 19?
I actually finished. No, I'm just kidding.
Good thing I got the recording.
Now we're on 12.
Nice.
We're thinking it's B. So yeah, in the 70s, the GDP deflator and the CPI showed high rates of inflation, which is true because that's where the graph kind of peaks. And then in the late 80s, 90s, and 2000s, that's all relatively
Hello.
low. Yeah, the graph just takes a dive. So I think it's B.
I think so too. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Cool. Well, that's a big dive.
Yeah.
Cool. Sounds good to me.
Yep.
It's number 13.
So I said C for this one.
I was just looking at that one. I kept like going up and down from C to D. I'm like, all right, what's different? What's different? I was like, oh, different points of time, same points of time.
That makes sense.
Same here. Sweet. So number 14 then. So the interest rate that measures the change in dollar amounts is the nominal or whatever. And the interest rate corrected for inflation is the real interest rate.
Hmm.
So I'm confused. Suppose consumer price index for 2013 is not necessarily 235. Where does the nominal interest rate fit in here?
I have no idea.
um, is that well? If the nominal interest rate is for 2013 is 7.3%, then the consumer price index is. Well, does nominal have something to do with the base year? I'm trying to. 'Cause nominal, a nominal interest rate is
So in the textbook, it says the nominal interest rate is the interest rate as usually reported without a correction for the effects of inflation.
okay, as in like it's using the current price and
no inflation.
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, like,
So we just do 235 times 1.8%.
well, but
Oh no.
that's using the real interest rate, and it says it's the nominal interest rate, so 7.3. The real interest rate is the difference between the nominal interest rate and the rate of inflation. The nominal interest rate tells you how fast the number of dollars in your bank account rises over time, while the real interest rate tells you how fast the purchasing power of your bank account rises over time.
So I looked up this equation. It looks like you take the nominal interest rate is equal to the real interest rate plus the inflation rate.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the real interest rate for that one?
For 2013,
Yeah.
it says it's 1.8% for the real interest rate.
And then oh, hang on, I think I'm onto something.
Hmm.
Oh, crap. Nope. Oh, wait, yep. So the nominal is 7.3, right?
Mhm.
And the real interest rate was what? Sorry.
1.8. So we have
Is there an answer for 242.65?
yeah,
Yeah.
it rounds to 0.7.
Nice. So I took the nominal interest rate and I subtracted the real interest rate, and it gave me the inflation rate for 2013 was 5.5%. I just kind of followed this. I just did an online equation. It just plugged it in for me.
Makes sense.
So I have a question. So what exactly are, it says in the Consumer Price Index for 2013, so we're solving for the CPI, right?
Yeah.
And the equation that it gives us is that whole price of basket of goods and services in current year over price of basket in base year times 100, right? And so where does where does this the what's it called the interest rate fit into all to that equation? Like, is that the equation we were looking at, or like I don't know? Is there another equation?
That's a good question. Let me look it up in the book.
Or well, I guess that's oh wait. So because we solved for the inflation rate, and then
Which is 5.5.
yeah, or well, the inflation rate. Oh yeah, 5.5. Okay, I wrote a number wrong now. Yeah, so 5.5 is the inflation rate, and then oh, so really we're using the inflation rate equation, right, with CPI in year 2 minus CPI in year 1 divided by CPI in year 1 times 100. Is that what we're kind of using there?
That's a good question. I think. I don't know. That makes.
Because let's see, if we plug it into that equation kind of algebraically again, then that would be 5.5 equals, and let's see, the consumer price in 2013.
The CPI for 2013 minus the 235.
So yeah, so are we? So because it's saying suppose the consumer price is not the CPI for 2013 is not necessarily 235. So does that mean that's the one? So we're solving for 2013. So if we plug in 2012 for the CPI in year 1 part of the equation, would that give us what we're looking for?
I don't know. Trying to think of it like. It just kind of throws me off where it says it's not necessarily 235.
Yeah, well, and then because then it's asking, then the CPI for 2013 is in fact.
That's what we're trying to solve for.
What was that?
That we're trying to figure out what it really is.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, I mean, if you have the inflation rate, 5.5%. Well, I don't know, like, wouldn't you do like the CPI for 2013? So that wouldn't you do like 235 times the 5.5% plus 235. No, it says 247.9. It's not it.
How did you, because didn't you calculate something close to 242.7 earlier?
Yeah, but I didn't use the 235. I don't know.
Well,
I kind of was like playing with the numbers a little bit. I tried 230 and then 235 and then 232 and 233. So when I plugged in the 233, then it equaled 242.65. But I don't know why it'd be 233 versus 235.
yeah.
But if you have 233, that equals 242. So we know it's not 242 because it's more than 233, so it'd be 235.
Mhm.
Wow, I don't know. My brain hurts on this one.
Yeah, mine too. I don't understand.
Maybe we can just come back to this one or ask the teacher on it or something.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking because I just, based off the equations that they give us in this chapter, like, it's not making sense. Like, you know, plugging in these numbers and stuff. I don't get it.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh well. So maybe we'll just come back to that one.
Yeah.
Oh man, another one. All right. Those expenditures on food for 3 consecutive years, along with other values presented table below. Suppose Will's 2009 food expenditures, $2,000. I'm just looking up the formulas right now.
Okay.
Know how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wait, I just found a formula in the PowerPoint.
Let's see.
Thank you.
Was it the right formula?
I think so. So it's slide 22, and it says amount in today's dollars equals the amount in year T dollars, whatever year you're going for, times the price level today over the price level in year T. But I don't know if you can actually use that to figure this out. Is there any examples like this in the book?
Yeah, I found the equation.
Okay.
Page 226, section 11.2a.
Okay. So we need like what is it talking about when it says the price level?
Yeah, that's what I meant, because it says suppose Will's 2009 food expenditures in 2011 dollars amount to 5,670. That's not necessarily like a price level, right?
Yeah.
Just how much he spent.
Uh-huh.
It's
It's how much he spent with inflation. So it's how much he would have spent in 2011.
Okay, so yeah, because here it says a price index such as the CPI measures the price level and thus determines the size of the inflation correction. So
So could we use the CPI as the price level then?
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That makes sense.
So CPI.
Okay, so first we have to find the CPI for 2011.
Yeah. Yeah, because in the example it gives, it's saying it's using the CPI as the price level.
Okay.
So that's correct.
I just don't know how to find the CPI with the information we're given.
I think
Could we do 6,600 minus, no, 6,600 over 5,000 times 100? No, because that doesn't make any sense.
I'm just wondering, $2,011. Can we like kind of solve algebraically again using the amount in today's dollars equation? Like, suppose Will's 2009 food expenditures in 2011 dollars is 5670, and then so 5670 equals, and then the amount in T dollars, so 5,000 for 2009, because that's what That's the historical year we're talking about. And
Wouldn't
then
the amount in $T, wouldn't we just be using 2011s because it's saying that the 2009 food expenditures in 2011? No, never mind.
2011's amount.
yeah, suppose those 2009 food expenditures in 2011 dollars, it's 56.70. The amount in today's dollars is 56.70 equals 5,000.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, and then price times, and then that would be X over, and then the CPI of 2009 of 160, and then solve for that.
Yeah, I think we could do it that way.
Okay.
Como 10 minutos, papi, se desocupa. Para que si te vengas. ¿Y traes algo del pueblo? Sí, papi. Solo unos momentos. Dile a mamá que te traigas cosas del pueblo. Ya me contestó ayer. Me contestó. No, pues sí, no.
And then okay, so I got 181,
Okay.
and so if we subtract well, if we find the difference between those CPIs, it's not 11.8.
What did you get for the CPI? Sorry.
When I solved for that, I got 181.4. Did anyone else do that and get the same thing?
I didn't. It's kind of weird because like the expenditures in food increases 800 each time. So the consumer price index increased 8. So maybe it just increases another 8 or
So the inflation rate from 2011 to 2000 or 2010 to 2011 is about 8% too, I think.
so I'm just gonna put B for now. I made a note of this, so I'm gonna come back later when I'm back from work.
Okay.
I can maybe like send you guys an email.
Okay, sounds good. Uh, Man, ugh, yeah, that's a tough one. All right. So we need to come back and do number 5, number 14, and 15. Right?
I think so.
Okay. Do people need to go right now, or is everyone still wanting to finish this up right now?
Let's see what time is it. About 15 minutes. I just have to be gone by 8:30.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's just go through the rest then. So for 17, I said B.
Okay. So that's just using the non today's dollars thing again.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You said B?
Mhm.
Because the equation is amount in year T dollars times price level today divided by price level in year T. So is it actually C?
Like it was
Sorry.
95 and then it's 475 today. Oh. So then $100 today purchases the same amount of goods and services. About $95 in 1955.
Oh,
I
wait.
said 20 because I can't remember how I did this because I did this a while ago.
Actually, maybe you're right. Hang on. Oh. Four, seven, five. Okay. So that's going to be 100 equals X times 475 divided by 95.
Yeah. Yeah, so 100 equals 5x, so 20.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's 20. All right, B. Okay. And then 17. I think this one's C.
Yeah, I do too.
It's just lining up the numbers with the equation again.
Mm-hmm.
Los blancos que tú te vas al templo. Yikes.
Okay.
So I think for this next one, we probably need to do the other one about this so that we know how to figure it out. But, or we can just plug it into the equation.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
Okay, I'm sorry about that, you guys. I'm back. I know you guys missed me. No worries.
we did. We were just lost without you.
Did you guys get number 16? Or are we still on that one?
No, we did that one. So that was B. And then 17 we decided was C.
okay, so for
And we're on 18.
18,
So is that 6,600 equals, well, equals X.
wouldn't it be Will's 2010 food expenditures? And 2009 dollars?
You're right. So it'd be 5,800. $5,800 times, and we're solving for the amount. Well, I guess.
So I tried like 5,800 times 168 over 160, and I got 6,090, but that's not an answer. So, and that doesn't make any sense because it should be, I don't know.
Okay, well,
Would it be 5,800 equals X times 168 over 160? Have we tried that?
oh. Yeah, I think you're right, because I keep jumping to 2011, but it's 2010. So I think you're right. 168 over 160, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Let's try that. I got 5523,
Yeah, me too.
which we could round that to 5524.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay, so for the next one, I got A. And here's how I did it. So the equation for this is the real interest rate equals the nominal interest rate minus inflation. So I did negative 2.5 equals 4 minus X.
Right, okay.
Gotcha.
And then for number 20, I don't know.
Are we sure it's negative 6.5? Or is it 6.5?
Well, because
You have to carry that negative.
oh, you're right. Okay, wait. You're right. So it probably is 6.5.
I think it's positive.
Because it would be negative 6.5 equals negative x, and then it would just be 6.5.
Yeah, yeah.
You're right.
Okay, and then 20, what were we saying?
Real interest rate 6%, inflation rate 4%.
So I don't know what this one is.
Reading all the options.
Okay, well, what does the nominal interest rate tell us again? That's
The nominal interest rate is the interest rate that does not correct for inflation.
right.
The real interest rate is corrected for inflation.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb. Maybe it's D. It's like the dollar value of savings increased to 10%. Take
That's
the
what I
real
said.
interest rate and the inflation, so it's 10.
Yep, that's what I said.
I think that's
I think that's right.
Okay, sounds good.
oh crap, it is exactly 15 after.
Get out of here.
Perfect timing. Wow. Whatever. Okay, geez, it won't come next week. I get it. Okay, because I probably won't have time to come back and do this later. I'll submit it and I'll let you guys know how many I got wrong. Oh, wow, only one.
Really? Wow.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Geez, Kate saying really like that, like I can't get a good grade. Whatever.
I mean,
Wow, only one wrong?
that was it?
Whatever. All right. Well, I will. Oh, dang it! I gotta. Okay, so I'll stop this and then I'll post it really, really fast. And then I'm gonna head to work.
Okay, awesome.